Hi everybody, how are you doing? Gabriella from Tarot Wonderland here. I thought I would do a fun video for you guys this morning, and I am planning to do more of these types of videos in the future. So if there's anything you'd like to see me talk about tarot related, please leave it in the comment section below. But this is a really fun exercise to do, and I got it from the Mary K. Greer book, Tarot for Yourself. It's called Your Personality and Your Soul Card. How this exercise works is it uses the numbers in your birth date to calculate your personality and your soul card. So these would be cards in the major arcana. I will demonstrate to you how this works by doing my own birth date and showing you how to do that. And then afterwards, we're going to do something really fun and do the birth dates of a few of my favorite famous people. So we'll see what their personality and soul cards are. So let's get started with my birth date. So I'll show you here. So what you do first is you put your birth date in numerical order in a column like this. So my birthday is December 31st, 1964. So you would put the month number, which for me is 12, the day number, 31, and then the year, 1964. Okay, so you would add those up, and then you get your result. For me, the answer is 2007. Now what you're going to do, once you get this sum here, is you're going to add across, okay, these four numbers here. So for me, it reduces to a single number, which is 9. I got 2007, so 2 plus 7 equals 9. Now, for some of you, this may be different. You could get two numbers. You could get one number for your personality card and one number for your soul card. In my case, my personality and soul cards are the same because it reduced to that one single digit, okay? But if your number is 22 or less, it's going to be different. If the sum that you get when you first add up your birth date turns out to be 22 or less, you are going to have two separate cards. You're going to have a personality card and a soul card, and I'll demonstrate how that works. I'm going to use a sample birth date here to show you how that works. Okay, so this birth date that we're going to use for an example is November 16th, 1954. So month is 11, 16 is the day, and 1954 is the year. So when you add these downward, you're going to get the sum of 1981, okay? And those add up across, adding up 1, 9, 8, and 1, those add up to number 19. Now, so that is below 22. Okay, so remember 22 or less, and you're going to keep that number. If you get a single digit like me, from your first calculation of this here, you're going to keep that for both your personality and soul cards. Okay, but in this case, we get 19, which is less than 22, and then you're going to reduce that by adding 1 plus 9 equals 10, and you want to get a single number for the soul card. So you would keep doing, you would keep going, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. So this would be your soul card. This would be your personality card. Okay, so I hope that's clear. I hope I didn't confuse you. So I'll show you again. For me, I got a single digit. Adding all of these up, I got 2007. Okay, adding them downward, I got 2007. And now I'm going to add across. 2 plus 7, I get the single digit of 9. So my personality and soul cards are the same. For this person, using the sample birth date of November 16th, 1954, you're going to add downwards and you get 1981 as the total here. And then you're going to add across 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1 equals 19, which is less than 22. And you're going to reduce that to a single number again. So 1 plus 9 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Personality card, soul card. If you get the number 22 for your birth date, this means that you have a great deal of impulsiveness and great mystery and a fine line to balance. And 22 represents major arcana 0, the Fool, okay? And it also reduces to the Emperor. So 2 plus 2 would be the Emperor. That would be your personality card. And your soul card is going to be the Fool, major arcana 0. If it's 21, obviously it's going to be the World. It's going to be your personality card. And then that would reduce to 3. So your soul card would be the Empress. I hope I explained that okay. I hope you guys understand. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section below. So if you are like me and your personality and soul cards turn out to be that single digit, the same number, this is what she says about that. People with this sequence must learn to communicate their individual creative expressions. Their personal identity and sense of self will be inextricably combined with their life and soul purpose. Their ability to relate to others will depend on a harmony of vision and purpose with them. And I got to tell you guys, this is so true. For me, I got the Hermit, number 9. This is so true. I mean, this really, really encapsulates my life, honestly. Sometimes, as much as I wish it weren't true, it is true. I've spent a lot of my time on my own. I'm very solitary a lot of the time. and I do think and reflect and think about the big picture. I'm always analyzing things. And this is what the Hermit does, right, with his lamp. He shines his lamp. He's very wise, okay? And he examines things. He examines what has gone on in his life. He examines the world around him. He thinks, he retreats, okay? This is so me. This is so me, and it made perfect sense to me that this turned out to be my personality and soul card. So I thought it would be fun to do this exercise with a few of my favorite famous people. So let's get started. So my first favorite famous person is Jim Morrison, lead singer for The Doors. So here is his birthday, December 8th, 1943. So month, December is 12, 8 is the day, and 1943 is the year. We get 1963 as a total, which amounts to number 19. If you add them across, 1963 becomes 19. That's his personality card. And then if you reduce that further, 1 plus 9 goes to 10. And you have to reduce it to a single digit. So 1 plus 0 equals 1. So his personality card is the Sun, and his soul card is the Magician. Now this to me completely fits, totally makes sense. You think of Jim Morrison and the Sun card. I mean, he was absolutely radiant. He was dazzling, you know, his talent just shone all over. I mean, he loved being on stage. He loved performing. He was extremely good looking, extremely handsome. He actually reminds me of Apollo, the sun god. That's how when I picture Apollo, that's how I picture him looking, like Jim Morrison in his heyday, you know. So this definitely for me fits. I know he also went by the name the Lizard King, which seems to fit here. You know, lizard, hot, fire. The sun is very fiery. So yes, absolutely, the Sun fits for him in his personality. And then his soul card is the Magician, which I think also just fits completely. I mean, he was mesmerizing. He was a very magnetic character. He could captivate an audience like any magician can, and definitely knew how to make an entrance. And, you know, he was just amazing, amazing. So I think the Magician for him definitely fits here as well. My next favorite famous person is Jimi Hendrix. You can tell I love musicians. So anyway, here's his birth date, November 27th, 1946. So if we add those up downwards, we get 1980. And then if you add those across, 1 plus 9 plus 8, you get 18. That's his personality card. And if you reduce that to the single digit for his soul card, 1 plus 8 equals 9. So personality is 18. That would be the Moon. And number 9 is his soul card, the Hermit. So again, I think this fits very well with Jimmy's personality, the Moon, because the Moon is all about kind of moodiness, right? That kind of emotional turmoil, disruption, discomfort, right? And he came from a blues background. I mean, his guitar playing was incredible, and he came from a background in the blues. Those were his inspirations, and blues is associated with depression and all that. And so I think this fits in perfectly. When you listen to his song, The Wind Cries Mary, especially, I think you can really hear that Moon influence here in this song. So what this is telling me is that he was underneath, although he was just as dazzling a sun as Jim Morrison was in his onstage persona and his talent and all that, I think underneath he was very moody and murky, and there was a lot going on with Dear Jimmy. And so I think that's where a lot of his brilliant music came from, is from this kind of energy here in his personality card. And then his soul card, again, was the Hermit, like me. So, yeah, and I really get that sense from him, too. Jimmy did have a kind of a sadness about him, you know, and kind of a loner quality. And I think, again, that's where a lot of his artistic inspiration probably came from doing a lot of thinking, examining life and all that, and sharing his wisdom and his talent with the world, with his music. And yeah, I can definitely see this fitting as his soul card as well. Another one of my favorite people who sadly just died recently was David Bowie. His birth date was January the 8th, 1947. So if we add those up, we get 56? Yeah, 1956, which if you add across, 1 plus 9 plus 5 plus 6 equals 21, okay? And then to get his soul number, 2 plus 1 would be 3. So his personality card is the World, and his soul card was the Empress. So to me, for David Bowie, for the World, for his personality card, this fits so perfectly because he was all about cycles and phases, right? Like he went through so many phases in his career, from Ziggy Stardust to, you know, the Ashes to Ashes days. And then when Let's Dance came out, he became sort of more commercial. And he went through so many phases and so many looks in his careers. And the World is all about cycles and completion, right? Like finishing one thing and beginning another. And he was just so great at that. He was so great at just continuing on and on with his artistry and recreating himself, reimagining himself, and representing himself to the world in different ways. And so I think this definitely personifies him. And the Empress as his soul card, like how amazing is that? You know, one thing that I really loved about David Bowie, and that I think everybody loved about David Bowie, was his comfort with his sexuality. Like he totally embraced the feminine side of himself, you know? He wasn't afraid to put on makeup and color his hair crazy zany colors and just be very androgynous, right? So I can really see that Empress energy with him. And also just his giving, you know, his giving to the world. He seemed like a very loving, giving person. He was very generous of spirit. And that's another thing about the Empress that, you know, fits in with him. So absolutely, this is just awesome. I love it. Isn't this fascinating? And last, definitely not least, in my favorite famous people, and these are all dead people, I just realized, is Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain's birthday was February 20th. Yes, February 20th, 1967. Okay, so you add that up, you get 1989. And then if you add across 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 9, you get 27. That's larger than 22, so you'd have to reduce this to a single number. And it's going to be the same number for him, for both, like with me. And you got the Hermit as well. So we were both hermits, me and Kurt. So yeah, and again, I think that fits in really perfectly with Kurt. I mean, he talked so often about his torment, you know, like being depressed and his stomach issues. He went through a lot of stomach problems and great pain, you know, and he was always a very tortured soul, and he definitely was a loner. You know, he definitely talked also about feeling like he never fit in and that he was always kind of, you know, one of the outcasts. And again, this led very much to, you know, his career, his talent. It factored in a major way. Unfortunately for Kurt, it turned out tragically because I guess he wasn't at peace with himself. You know, I guess he never felt happy being this way. But this was his destiny, right? This was his life path, and unfortunately, he chose to end his life. And so sad, such a loss to the world. But definitely, yeah, I could definitely see this side of him for sure. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I urge you to try this yourselves. Try your own birthday. Try your family members and your friends and figure out what their personality and soul cards are. See what happens. See what you get and see if you agree with the results. I think it's always extremely accurate when you figure out what these cards are for yourself, and when you really look at it and examine it. It is almost creepily accurate, the way that these cards kind of embody our personalities and our soul path, our mission, you know? So anyway, I just think it's a really fun exercise. It's a really interesting exercise to do with the tarot. The tarot can tell us so much about ourselves. And yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you guys have any other ideas of tarot topics you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. And I would love it if you would share with me your results. What is your personality card? What is your soul card? And do you agree with what came up for you? Okay, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye for now.